For those of you who just joined, I'm Yana Reznik, and I'm a founder of Inspo Journey. And I would like to share with you a little bit of what got me to be in this place today. I was a classical pianist my whole life, touring a lot in my, what I like to say, the first part of my life. And that was my dream life. And at some point I realized that the joy and the excitement of kind of doing it, really working for it and getting to the goal and getting to this dream life, I realized that at some point that somehow the burnout came and I was becoming joyless at some point. And so that initial kind of excitement was fading and I was getting burned out and anxious a lot and questioning what else is there to do in life. And so this kind of midlife awakening, I now call it not the crisis, but awakening, sent me on this really incredible journey of self-discovery through which I found many, many, many techniques. I mean, I tried psychedelics, I tried hypnosis, I tried biofeedback, meditation, yoga, retreats, somatic practices. There was a whole journey and things that I have discovered that really helped me to find kind of this new voice and new identity and new career. Now is what I'm using to share with other people. And music at some point, stopped, but then it came back so strongly because it said, look, I'm still a part of me. I still love music, but I started using the techniques that I learned in hypnosis and neurolinguistic programming to actually get me to a completely new level as a musician as well. So my creativity boosted because of these techniques. My anxiety went away. And just life kind of started making so much more sense because we're not basing it on fear anymore. So these practices really helped me release the fear and the anxiety and stress and really tap into possibilities. And all of that journeying sent me to create Inspo Journey. And Inspo Circle today is a part of this massive project that you are experiencing. And these are my first offerings. We just started creating these monthly meetings, so I will tell you more about it later. But I got certified in hypnotherapy and neurolinguistic programming. So this is what I do now professionally with people. And the reason I'm telling you all of this is because I really, before going on a journey that touches your subconscious mind, I really want to make sure that if you have any questions, that you feel really comfortable being guided by me. And to talk a little bit about subconscious mind versus conscious mind is very important because in our daily lives, we actually use about 5% of our brain capacity, right? And I'm not talking about like tapping into your knowledge or ability. I'm talking about conscious and subconscious subdivisions. And 5% is the conscious mind, our thoughts, and 95% is subconscious. So the subconsciousness really is the lead. It's like the silent guide. And so much of what we have learned and automated patterns in our lives are actually in our subconsciousness. And we don't spend enough time tapping into the subconsciousness or the wise selves that also live in the subconsciousness. So in this work, when we do meditation or somatic practices or hypnosis, what we're doing is really tapping into that 95%. So that's really exciting. Now, before we kind of move forward with the process itself, if you guys have any questions about what it's like, because I know that for some people, I'm actually curious, throw in the chat if this is your first time doing some kind of trance work, hypnosis work. I would love to hear if there are any newcomers. First time, awesome. Okay, we have first timers. Currently pregnant, I want to manifest a beautiful, healthy, and painless labor. Yes. So for pregnant Natalia, there's hypnobirthing. If you're familiar with it, I would love to share with you about it. But yes, you can have a very painless process with hypnosis. Okay, another first timers here for Pam. So if you guys have any questions or concerns, or maybe something that will make you feel more comfortable going into this trance state, please ask questions now. And if we don't have any questions, then we will. All right, no questions. Thank you for trusting me, and thank you for trusting the process. Beautiful. All right. So just taking a moment right now to take a deep breath in. And breathe out. And one more deep breath in. And breathe out. So before we begin going into this journey, here's a little quick roadmap. This is a guided inner journey. There's nothing to fix, nothing to force. You'll just be invited to settle your attention and reflect on the past year and to reconnect with what supported you, and then look ahead from a more aligned place. So we're here to look back, to settle in the presence, and to look forward. And during this trance, you're always in control. There's absolutely nothing that I can do to control what you do. Everything is in your power. And trance state is known as the state of hyper awareness and focus. And there's not a right or wrong way of doing it whatsoever to experience it. You don't need to try to relax or make anything happen, just allowing yourself to be in the state and breathing and following my voice, and notice what unfolds. So when you feel ready, just begin by settling even more comfortably in your chairs, in your seats, and I would ask you to just pick one point ahead somewhere to look at, somewhere easy and steady to glance at. Just noticing one point somewhere, choosing one point, and keep breathing at your comfort. And now allowing your blink to become slow and heavy. And in a moment, we will begin to enter into a deep state of relaxation. On an inhale, eyes can open a little bit, and on an exhale, they close as you drift deeper. So you will open your eyes and look at the spot ahead of you, and inhale, and then allow your eyes to just close as you exhale. Opening your eyes as you inhale, and closing your eyes as you exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale, 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 and close your eyes as you drift deeper. Inhale, eyes open. Exhale, close your eyes, going into deeper relaxation and letting go. And one more time, inhale, eyes open. Exhale, close your eyes, completely relaxed. And now imagining a warm light of attention, and bring that light into your face and neck and head with your eyes closed. Closing your eyes, and now bringing a warm light of attention into your face, neck, and head. And now squeeze all the muscles in that area, maybe even making a face. Hold it, hold it, hold it, and squeeze all the muscles in your face. Hold and release. Let it go. And now squeezing your arms and hands. Squeezing, tensing your arms and hands. Holding it and relax. You don't have to hold anything right now. You can just receive, letting go. And now shifting attention to your chest and shoulders. Squeeze the muscles in your chest and shoulders. Make it really, really tight. Tight, 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 tight. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Hold, 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 hold. And release and let it go. Now shifting your attention to the belly. Squeeze your belly muscles. Just hold, 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 hold. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Settling emotions and letting go the belly. Loosening. Feel relaxation in your belly. Letting go. And now tightening your thigh muscles. Really tighten, tighten, tighten. All your thigh muscles and your butt. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And weight dropping down and releasing into your seat. Feel the difference between tension and relaxation. Now bringing your attention to your calves. Squeezing your calves. Feel the squeeze. Tighten, 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 tighten. Hold and release and let it go. And now paying attention to your feet and toes. Tension goes into your feet and toes, squeezing tight, 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 tight. Hold, 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 hold. And as you breathe out, release and let it go. And tension flows down like water into earth. Just letting go and noticing how relaxed your body might feel right now. That deep relaxation is here now. And your mind can welcome new possibilities. And when you are in that state of really deep trance, you will be open to different suggestions. And when I suggest that you're going to feel more joy, clarity, playfulness, more open, you are going to feel more joy, more playfulness, more open. As this deep relaxation spreads all over your body, noticing how openness, curiosity, joy, playfulness begin to surface right now. And what's rehearsed becomes familiar. What's familiar is easier to choose. And that joy can spread into all areas of your life that you haven't even considered. Imagining that everything around you becomes lighter, effortless, easy, fun, and playful. That's right. Taking a deep breath in and releasing. And as you feel this joy, ask your subconscious mind to look back. Looking back at your year and bring up any moments that felt challenging, difficult, maybe even painful. Trust your mind to only go back to what needs to surface right now. Noticing where you feel these feelings and emotions in your body. Where exactly do you notice any sensations? Now just simply becoming aware of them. And you sit with these sensations for just a moment, allowing them to just be. Can you allow yourself to just be present with the sensations? And then when you are ready, feel and see and witness your body releasing any sensations associated with last year. Noticing them transforming, shifting, just being released. Watching and noticing how the sensations transform and leave and morph, like fluid, soft, transforming energy that just simply needs to be noticed and recognized in order to completely dissipate. Notice what you're feeling in your body now. And if gratitude is present, notice it. And if not, simply notice that you are here now. Realizing that all emotions are just like water. They come and go, like waves coming and leaving your body with ease. Taking a deep breath in. And release. Let it go. And now ask your subconscious mind to show you all the moments of your last year that deserve a celebration. Your wins, your achievements, your joyful, present, aligned moments. Trusting that whatever comes into your mind right now is what wants to be seen, remembered, and recognized. Notice when these moments come up for you now, how does your body begin to feel? Simply becoming aware of your sensations and where it is in your body. Noticing the shapes, the forms of those sensations, the energy, and just allowing for these beautiful sensations to expand and fill your body from head to toe. The celebration, the knowing that you have accomplished so much. This is the time to give yourself credit for everything you have done already. And noticing how that thought, idea shifts your internal state physically. Allowing for this positive energy to spread all over your body, all the way from the head, all the way down to the tips of your toes. And from this expanded state of celebration and joy for what you have already done, ask yourself one simple question. What is the biggest lesson you learned this last year? everything inside you is quiet and relaxed. Let yourself imagine that you're standing somewhere beautiful that feels safe and comfortable. You might feel the ground under your feet, steady and welcoming. Ahead of you, you notice a beautiful path, and you begin to walk towards it. As you're walking, winding through trees brushed with gold, with every step, your body moves in rhythm with ease. Each step, a decision to expand, explore, and let adventures in. Maybe you start to notice how your body responds to this new path. Maybe with a sigh of release. Maybe with a spark of an idea. Maybe with a glimpse of inspiration, aliveness. Breathing in this feeling now. Let the air fill your lungs. Feel that freshness ripple through your chest. And thank yourself for choosing to walk on this new path today. And as you look ahead, you sense it, someone or something waiting for you. In the clearing stands a structure, part of the landscape, yet unlike anything else. Maybe it's carved of stone, maybe it's light itself. You come closer and notice a beautiful door. Notice its color, its texture, the feeling it gives you even before you touch it. And when you're ready, reach out and open it. Inside, there's a space beyond time, still luminous, alive with quiet knowing. And here, waiting, is your wise self, your advocate, the part of you that remembers and knows everything there is to know about you. The one who sees the whole picture of your life. They may appear as a person, a creature, a light, or simply just a presence. Allow it to show up for you now. Feel how they welcome you, calm, loving, clear. And as you reconnect in a way that feels desired, when you're ready, ask them a question. Maybe, what do I most need to know right now? Let the answer come in any way it wishes, a word, a gesture, a feeling, a symbol. Just receive the knowledge. Maybe also ask a question that feels right for you. Maybe, what truth am I finally ready to see? What needs to shift? What am I not noticing? And just notice what happens. recognition in your bones, because this wisdom, this quiet brilliance is always within you. You can return to this wise advocate at any time through breath, through stillness, through the simple choice to walk on this path. Taking a few more breaths here, absorbing what was given. Thinking what was found. And when you're ready, thank your wise advocate and walk outside of that room, of that building, closing the door behind you and keeping that wise advocate inside. As you find a place to sit down outside of that building and contemplate with your heart open and body calm, let your awareness drift inward. Somewhere inside, there's a clear voice that already knows what you're ready for next. Just notice what naturally rises when you ask, what shall my next steps be on this journey? The answer might come as a word, maybe a feeling, maybe a sensation, a whisper that relates peace, aliveness, freedom, and authenticity. Whatever it is, let it land softly in you. This is your intention, your compass, stated clearly. Let your mind, heart, and body aligned around it as if they are all nod in quiet agreement. Feel it anchor, warm and real. That's right. And now turn toward the other side of that light, because every new chapter begins with setting down an old story and asking yourself, what do I need to let go of in order to live this intention fully? Maybe it's an old pattern, a belief you've outgrown, a way for protecting yourself that no longer protects. Something that might be holding you back, outdated, done. And now imagine yourself that at some point in the future, maybe it's a couple days, months, years, you see yourself having let go of everything that no longer serves you. And every day you're making a decision to live exactly as you want. Notice everything around you. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you sense? What do you feel? Out in this future, you're being exactly the way you always dreamed of being. Notice how you carry yourself in your body. Notice what you look like. Notice what you're wearing. Notice who's around you. Notice how you carry your shoulders, your posture, how empowering your body feels walking on this path. As you take a deep breath in, notice the smells that surround you and how good it feels to be living this beautiful version of self. And now looking through your own eyes, notice that everything you need is already within you. Everything you dream of is within reach inside you. And notice how good it feels to be living exactly as you wish. And now slowly returning back into your body and back into the present moment. And now as you keep the breath slow and the body loose, I invite you to very, very, very slowly begin to want to return to your body and feeling your toes, your legs, your belly, your chest, your head, your eyes, and bringing some gratitude to having this body to carry you and your dreams forward. Begin to notice the surroundings, bringing attention to the room that you're in. And bringing this beautiful state and vision with you into this body. And when you're ready, allow your eyes to begin to slowly open. You might want to stretch, wiggle, opening your eyes now. And as you keep breathing, invite you to stay in this state with your eyes open and noticing what it feels like to be in this state with your eyes open, noticing the shifts of energy, perhaps of relaxation, of calm, of clarity, of vision. Just taking a moment here to understand that you are looking at life through your own eyes, and this vision that you just saw, the wise advocate, the future self, are all within you, present right now. And I invite you to now slowly and casually take your phone, and if you can, follow the QR code that you're seeing on the screen and click on it. It should take you to a place of reflection. This is a place of integration. We'll take a couple of minutes there, staying in this moment. This is a place that is very safe. We only send this to you, and it stays private. It's a way for us to also understand where you are on your journey. Also, there is a link in the chat that should come in. And I invite you to just reflect and write down what came to you in this form, the parts you want to remember and take with you. Just listening to what has come up, allowing yourself to take note of it and immerse in the process, remaining in your beautiful state of relaxation. Let us know in the chat if there's any difficulties getting to it, or if you have any questions. does it take another minute or two to complete? I'm so grateful that you're sharing, because I think in everyone's stories we resonate ourselves, right? And we see patterns, and we see relation, and we see connection with other people's struggles and challenges and celebrations and all of that. So really, when you speak up, it's for everyone. And so I really appreciate you sharing that. And yeah, it's incredible to me how much credit we don't give ourselves, right? With fear. And fear is a big thing, right? Like the question is, what is underneath that fear? And it's not always as simple as fear of failure. What does that even mean, fear of failure, right? But it's what's underneath that. And most of the time, it's a lot of love. You know, when you really look underneath the fear, layers and layers and layers deeper, there's love, right? There's love for your father. There's also love for you, for self. There's love that he has for you. There's even love that we have in fear. And it's really interesting because we think of fear as something negative. But in this work, we look at fear as a protector, right? And when we look at fear as something that actually cares for us and wants to protect us and wants to keep us safe, you know, our relationship with fear unfolds in beautiful ways and very unexpected ways sometimes, right? So instead of saying, like, same with other feelings like anger, right? We're just kind of trained to believe that anger is a negative state. But there's a transformation journey when we believe that anger is actually our passion. It's the energy that drives us forward, right? If we look at jealousy, right, most of the time we're taught to believe that jealousy is bad. But jealousy often can be that guide. What do we actually want? Like, I've never been jealous of people in sports, right? Because I'm not, like, I've never had a dream of being in sports. But I do notice myself being triggered by, you know, people who do incredible music work, for example, right? And I'm like, oh, you know, why am I, like, okay, I'll admit I'm like jealous of that person. So if you change the perspective of that feeling of an emotion of jealousy and look at it as a navigating factor, it changes everything, right? So it's like the fear, the anger, all of our emotions that we consider to be negative sometimes are just our north stars, and they're showing us the way. So tapping into those feelings and emotions from perspective of curiosity is really cool, right? It's like, what is this feeling trying to teach me right now? You know, why am I feeling this? And I want to do at some point a workshop. So I'll share a little bit in a bit. But, you know, the somatic, like, how many of you guys felt shifts in your body sensations as you're drifting from one state to another? Like, thinking of the things that were challenging. Did you notice that your body felt a certain way? And then once you shift your mind into thinking of celebrations, your body shifts again somatically, right? Like the sensation might literally be moving from one place to another. How many of you guys noticed that? Just raise your hands. Okay. Right? So this shows, you know, exactly what this work is about, is because our mind actually directs how we feel. So it's being able to navigate how we think and how we, you know, react to things, and what actually goes inside our brain that actually affects us somatically, affects our bodies and the emotions and feelings. So that is the cool relationship that we have control over, right? And just by learning how to navigate the mind and relaxation and choosing what we actually think and create as our reality, that gives us so much power, right? To just be like, okay, like I can move forward knowing that I can control these states and choosing. So that's really, really cool. That's why I'm passionate about this. All right. Anyone else? We'll have time for one more person to share, and then I'll share something on my end. Anyone else? Okay, Pam, another thing that came up is that I'm okay right now in this present moment. I am good. Fear of failure or not being enough or deserving comes up in my patterns. I'm manifesting generated my human design. I am more comfortable helping others shine than I am shining myself. I should do some deeper shadow work to really unlock the reason why that is. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, there's a lot there. So looking into it is a beautiful way. So what I love to share with you guys now is a little bit of what the project is all about. And I'm very grateful for you all coming here. And what is Inspo journey? It came as this dream. Like really, it's a dream project where we're combining this kind of deep work of the subconscious mind, the somatic work, the body, the awareness, the teaching our brain how to really function, and all of those practices, but in a super, super fun way. What today you experience is just a little glimpse into the subconscious work, but there are also a ton of practices that are very practical. And so what I'd like to share with you is, okay, we need to get back the presentation full mode, please. There we go. All right. So the vision, first of all, for the upcoming, we can go to the next slide, is what I see for these meetings is really like an opportunity for us to build a community and do different kinds of practices. So this was our first run. This is the first of the series, and I want to meet every single month, and we're offering 2 dates for the same program, for the same kind of theme. So if you guys mark your calendars, the next one will be February 4th and February 14th. And what we will do there is get really specific about the workings of the mind, like the monkey that keeps talking to us, and, really diving and saying, okay, what kind of relationship do we want to build with that internal dialogue? Because very often we find ourselves being very critical or scared just inside our minds on how we talk to ourselves. So that's going to be the next subject. And then we're hoping to just keep them going and keep building the community. So if you have any friends or anyone who you think will be, a great fit for this, like, please invite them. This is my offering to the world, to just start jumping into this and experimenting with this kind of work. We also, so we can move to the group. Last year, I've launched what's called a Reset, and it's an integrative music, somatic, hypnotic experience. And what we are going to do with this is, if there's interest in a specific local area, if you guys are living somewhere where you say, oh my God, there's like a perfect venue for it, we're now considering the options of where to host it. And it's a 90-minute reset, and it uses all the practices together and kind of like a very joyful celebration with ecstatic dancing and release work. And it's very active, very hands-on, very moving. So that's what's going on with the Inspo journeys. And then the other thing we're building is retreats. So we can go next to the retreat section. Now, this is my invitation, because again, like everything we are starting now to build, and there's so much to share that I'm really envisioning us doing some kind of weekend retreat. And so if you're interested in being a part of the founding members and doing a pilot program, please reach out to me. It's going to be more immersive work into the mind and this kind of work. So that's also coming up. And then what else? And the most exciting for me is, I am so grateful for all of you being here, that we are offering a gift for you. So if something today resonated, like Pam said, there's more work to be done, something to look into, to dive into, I am making myself available for a completely free, non-obligatory session to talk with you, to make some clarity, maybe answer some questions. But really what we are exploring is, what are your dreams, right? Like, that's the big thing. If you have forgotten your dreams, can we bring you back to remembering what it is that you actually truly want? What are the challenges that you experiences? What are some blockages? Where are you feeling stuck? And your life context. So where are you actually in your life? What are your responsibilities? Jobs, what you have to take care of, and putting all of that together, and just to really build a very clear path for you of where you are now, where you want to be, and creating very clean, clear, understandable next steps. Now, that might mean working with me, but that might also mean for me to share the knowledge that I have, because maybe your path requires somebody else that I know who's a really great fit for you. And so this is just a place for me to offer what I know out for you. So if you guys click on that QR code, and also it's going to come in the chat if it hasn't yet, but this will take you to the link to schedule a time with me, and we can talk more in depth and see what it is that you're really looking for. And so let me see if you got, yes, we have the link in the chat or the scan of the QR code. What else? All right, well, the next one. So if you want to get more info about all the stuff that we're doing and stay in touch, this is all on the website, inspiredjourney.com. And again, this is a dream for me to build a community where we can really come into a safe space and share and learn and expand and do a bunch of practices. I would love to hear back from you in terms of what challenges you might want to dive into, because then I will build the following circles based on your requests, because it will we have that freedom to just do, okay, like if you guys all want to do something specific with the body, somatic practices and looking into those states of like anger and jealousy and, transforming them, there are exercises that we can do together. But I would love to just kind of get the ideas back from you, what it is that you want, and then I'll build the program based on that in the future months. What else? So staying in touch with me, best way is email. And Sana, if we can actually I can drop it in the chat. So if you guys want to take my email, we're going to use Yana at inspodourney.com. So if you guys have any questions, you want to stay in touch, you can email me there. We have a WhatsApp group that we're building with announcements and conversations and etc. So just really just expanding out and allowing us to build something, a community together. So that's about it. And I would like us to now just kind of get back into our state and taking a few breaths in. And just noticing how you feel now. Let's take another deep breath in on the count of 4 and exhale on the count of 8. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you can always come back to this way of breathing in for 4 counts and exhaling for 8 when you need the little reset and clarity, and always coming back to this breath. Let's do a couple more times. Inhaling at your own pace for 4 counts and exhaling for 8. And just thanking yourself for taking the time to come, to share, to be here, to be present, to be open, to be curious, to expand, to learn. And if you guys want to stick around for any questions, this is a good time. We planned for 90 minutes, so we still have 10 minutes if anyone wants to chat, brainstorm, just hang out and talk, or have questions about any of the practices, any of the programs. please let me know. You can feel free to ask any questions or comment. Thank you for asking that. So, when I was a full-time touring artist, I was a classical pianist and I was traveling. And at some point, I realized that I was way too stressed out and I stopped enjoying what I was doing because when I was a little kid, I really loved being on stage and, exploring and, being connected with music and etc. And then the stress of everything was just overwhelming. And I went on a journey. So I started these practices by healing myself, basically, and looking for what could change and what could shift. And so I did so many different things. And what really started working for me is what I'm sharing now. So it's kind of a collection of all my own personal experiences. And then, of course, I got trained in hypnosis and NLP and somatic practices and coaching and all of those things. And of course, music has always been a part of my life. So it's now a part of these processes also because music is the fastest way into our subconscious mind. Like you can just put on a song and immediately feel shifted states. So for me, it's all now a combination of those practices. Hope that answers your question. Hypnosis for the most part, like if you talk to most hypnotists, they don't use music for it, which to me is really surprising because, again, like it's the fastest way into your subconscious mind, right? Like you don't want to have to say one single word and you put on music and the person already feels the transformation. And for me, using music just enhances the states, right? And like we can guide these states and flow. And of course, like, as you said, like dancing, like ecstatic dance, it's completely different, right? Because the rhythm and the tribal rhythms and like it's in our bones. Like if you look back to like ancient healing practices, they all danced, they all sang, and they all came together as a big group of people to celebrate and rejoice. Like that was the basis of any healing modality. And then everything else came. Talk therapy is the innovation of, literally like Freud, said, oh my God, I've discovered something new. We can keep clients forever and ever and ever and not have to like market to new clients because I have discovered talk therapy. And, like talk therapy for me is repeating the old stories over and over and over again, which in hypnosis you don't do because you're working with changing the shifts in your mind and in your body, right? So the stories are not as important. And so, yeah, it's the dancing, it's the tapping into the subconsciousness, into your wisdom. You have all of that. Like you have all the healing within you that you actually need. And it's just a matter of finding what it is and tapping into it and exploring it. So thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Well, thank you for, that honest share. And yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of levels to it. So first of all, being in a group setting, right? Being on Zoom, there's some people are very comfortable with it and can just allow themselves to immediately drop in. But also from my own perspective, I don't know you guys. I don't know how deep I can go. So when I do one-on-one work, there is a lot more room to go much deeper, in group work, because of course there's always a possibility of people maybe dropping into states that will require my own personal attention, which I cannot do in a group setting. So for those of you who felt that they were kind of in and out, that's totally normal because that's what usually happens in a group setting. Like you are not completely out, and that's done on purpose because I want to make sure that we don't lose anyone. So that's one thing. Is it practiced? Absolutely. So one of the things that you mentioned is, the thoughts coming back. It's that's exactly what I'm thinking of doing for the next session, is understanding how when the thoughts come into our mind, how we build the relationship with them, right? So a lot of meditation practice is built on let's not think, right? But that's really hard to do. And so, we kind of expect the impossible, unless you like sit there for 40 years and meditate and you really learn how to do it. But in this practice, you look at your thoughts as your helpers, right? And you start having a conversation with your thoughts. You start having a relationship with those thoughts instead, right? So for example, it's like, oh, I'm thinking about work. Say, okay, brain, like, what do you want me to know about work right now? Like, can this wait for a little bit later, right? So instead of saying and judging ourselves for having those thoughts, we welcome those thoughts and we start noticing and becoming aware of the relationship that we have with our thoughts and with our brain. So, that's a process, and that is a practice for sure. Because once you start building that relationship and noticing what is the dialogue that is actually taking place and how you want to approach it, what do you actually want to do with it? So it's a combination of all those things. So thank you so much for sharing that. That's really cool that you're able to drop in that deep, because the fun thing about working with hypnosis is that, again, that 95 subconsciousness. So trusting the fact that whatever your body needed to experience and remember and understand is actually going into your subconscious, even if you don't see it necessarily, but your body might feel it. And sometimes sometimes if you even sleeping and you're listening to a book, your mind will actually take it in. So that's what hypnosis does a lot of the times, is that just trusting that whatever information was supposed to come to you still entered, without you having to have a very clear vision of what it was. We perceive things differently. Like some people are very visual. Some people, like you, sound like, that your kinesthetic is your strength, right? So like physicality. So if I were to ask you to focus on a feeling, for example, in your body, you would be able to place it, correct? Power of this dropping in is the fact that you're still receiving the information. You just might not be consciously aware of it at the moment. All right. Thank you all who stayed, and we'll see you next time.